Oh, hello, and welcome back to Beckler Guitars and Repair. And today we're going to be doing a full deep dive and review on a really cool G&L guitar. This is a 2016 ASAT Deluxe 2 Tribute Series in Irish Ale. So yeah, this is a pretty cool guitar that's got some really nice high-end specs on it. Let's take a look. So yeah, I picked this one up locally and it's in really great shape. So yeah, if you're not familiar with G&L guitars, basically Leo Fender left Fender and started his own company with George, and they called it G&L. It's for George and Leo. And they make super high quality, like I would say custom shop quality guitars. They've just got a small little team, so there's lots of hand work with all their USA models, and they're using a lot of the same machines that the original Fenders from the 50s and 60s were made on. And they're just really great guitars. I don't really know why these are still sort of relatively unknown guitars. They definitely don't have as big a following as Fender. However, they are fantastic, and they're made by the creator of Fender. But those are the USA models. This is their Tribute Series, which is an offshore version of their USA models. However, they do use the same pickups and hardware as on their more expensive USA models. So these are great guitars too. These are made in Indonesia, as many great guitars are now. You know, Schecter, PRS SE, D'Angelico, and many more are made in Indonesia, and they're putting out really fantastic guitars. So yeah, this one's from 2016. It's called an ASAT, which is the shape, the telly shape that G&L puts out, Deluxe 2. So this Deluxe 2 has humbuckers. It's got a mahogany body. The finish is called Irish Ale, which is nice. It's kind of that dark, reddy brown mahogany color. And it's got really nice grain on there. So it's got Alnico humbuckers designed by Paul Gagan, and it's got Tone Pros bridge and tailpiece. It's got the knurled metal knobs, one tone, one volume, three-way pickup selector, but it's also got a coil split, so that'll split the pickups into single coil mode. It's got a really nice looking pick guard there. It's got a rosewood fingerboard, medium jumbo frets, acrylic dot inlays, hard rock maple neck. And there is the G&L headstock. Similar to a Fender, but you got that extra little swoop there. And it says ASAT G&L Tribute Series. Let's have a quick look at the back. And there's our route for our controls. Again, really nice grain on the mahogany. And it's a bolt-on neck. And I'll have to double check, but it seems like the way the grain's running that this is a quarter sawn maple neck, but we'll check that once we remove the neck from the body to have a look. And there's a look at the headstock. This is a medium C profile neck. And you can see by the serial number, if it'll focus here. There we are. It was made in 2016. And yeah, it's excellent shape. There's no scratches or dings anywhere. The only thing I found was some like picking marks on the pick guard. And it feels great. So let's go ahead and get it on the bench and have a closer look at all the parts. Weighing in at 7 pounds, 11.7 ounces, or 3.5 kilograms. Alright, so in the bridge position, it's reading 13.74, and these are the Paul Gagan designed humbuckers for G&L. And in the neck position, it's reading 8.25. So I suspect this is going to sound similar to like Gibson's 490R, 498T pickup set, because those have very similar ratings. And in the middle position, it's a 5.21. I'm just going to see what splitting it does. So yeah, splitting it roughly halves it. So this is not a coil tap, this is a coil split. So it's a 6.95 in the bridge position, and a 4.21 in the neck, and a 2.64 in the middle. This is very much like a mix between a Fender and a Gibson. The radius on the fingerboard is 12, like a Gibson, and the scale length is 25.5, like a Fender. And again, the Tribute Series has the same electronics, or at least the same pickups and hardware as the USA models. So that's really nice quality stuff for the lower end price. Alright, here's a look at the pickup. It's not a lot of lead there, so it's a little tricky to see the bottom. But it's got the gold metal with a little bit of a number on there, signifying the model of the pickup. And looks like a pretty standard looking pickup. And here's a look at the route. It's just got a Z in there, or maybe an N from the factory. And the route looks nice and clean. And you can see that this is just one big piece of mahogany. I'll have to see how many pieces glued together it is, but the body is like a slab style of mahogany. And then the neck pickup, again, more of the same. This one's really tight in there. I don't even think I can, oh, I might be able to, yeah. Okay, so there's a look at the neck pickup, more of the same. It's got its own little model on there. And the neck route looks nice and clean as well. And there is no markings in the neck route. And here's a look at the pick guard. So it's a 3-ply pick guard, and it's just got the 3 screws to mount it to the body. And you could use it without the pick guard. You'd have to deal with those screw holes though. The bridge and the tailpiece are locking Tone Pro hardware. So what that means is they've got little screws on both the tailpiece and the bridge that locks them into place. So if you want to mess with them, you have to use an Allen key and loosen the screws a bit. So this is great for like quick string changes and stuff like that, or if you dial in your setup and you don't want it to change, you can lock your bridge right where it is, and then when you do a restring, you don't have to worry about your tailpiece falling off or anything. So yeah, you just got to use the Allen key to loosen it to remove them. So here's a look at the Tone Pro's bridge. It's fairly similar to like a Tune-o-matic style from Gibson. They're really nice quality though. I've seen a lot of players replace their Gibson stuff with Tone Pros, so it's nice to have that really high-end hardware on a lower-end model. So it's a nice little bonus. Here's a look at the tailpiece. It feels full weight, like compared to like a Gibson one, and it's branded Tone Pros as well. And here's a look at the control cavity. So yeah, it looks like very nice, neat wiring with decent components. It's got a full-size pot there. It's a 500K pot, and the push-pull looks standard. Looks like a decent quality one. Looks like it's got a ceramic disc capacitor and an import style 3-way switch. These are just fine though. And the whole cavity is shielded. So yeah, it looks good. It's also got a side mounted output jack, which is nice, very similar to like a Gibson. And the cavity plate fits in there very nicely. I've seen some Gibsons where it's not routed right. There's a big gap or it's too tight. And this is nice. Here's a look at the neck pockets. So yeah, very nice route there. And there's no shims from the factory. Even a lot of Fenders come with some shims from the factory just to, you know, correct that neck angle if it's not perfect when they route it. But this one does not have that. And there's a look at the grain from the neck. So it is not a quarter sawn maple neck, but it's a hard rock maple neck, so it's a nice quality wood. And let's check the neck fit here. And it fits in there reasonably well. It doesn't have gaps or anything, but it's not like the tightest fit ever. So it's very decent, but not super tight. And just having a super quick look at the condition Again, the body is like in very nice shape. This whole guitar looks like it's been barely used at all. Again, when you shine into the light, you can see some very maybe slight surface scuffs and marks. The pickguard's a little scratched up, but that's what it's for. And no scratches or dings. The fingerboard is a little dry. I'm going to go ahead and hydrate that. There we go, much better. And the frets are in really nice shape. They're nice and polished and nice and smooth on the edges. There's no fret sprout. And those medium jumbo frets look good. Yep. And this is a tusk nut. Looks to be well cut. And there's no marks or dings on the headstock either. Just flip it around quick. On the back and on the sides, no marks or dings. If you hold up to the light, you can see some light handling marks. But overall, this thing's very, very clean. And no marks or dings on the neck at all. And there's a look at the headstock and the serial number. So yeah, very nice shape. I would consider this one like excellent condition. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and restring and set this thing up, and then we can check the setup. I restrung this guitar with Ernie Ball 9 Super Slinkies. Those are my favorite strings. And I managed to get quite a nice setup on this guitar. So using the notch straight edge, you can see that there's just a tiny little gap between the straight edge and the fingerboard, so that tells me that the neck is nice and straight. There's not a lot of relief in the neck. And then here at the 3rd fret, you can see when I use the 3rd fret that the string rests just gently against that 1st fret. So that tells me the neck is straight and the nut is well cut, and we've got nice low action over here. And then at the 12th fret, using a depth gauge, we can see on the low E, it's sitting just between 0.75 and a 1 millimeter. And on the high E, the same thing, so just between 0.75 and a 1 millimeter. So yeah, very nice low action. I'm just going to quickly run through the fingerboard to make sure there's no fretting or buzzing out anywhere. I like to speed up this part, but if you want to hear it in real time, just slow down your player to 25%. So yeah, very nice low action with no fretting or buzzing out anywhere. And the neck feels really nice. It's got that medium C feel to it, and there's no sharp edges at all. The guitar sounds nice acoustically. And it sits very nicely on a strap with no neck dive. The nut is a 1.66 inches or 42.24 millimeters at the 12th fret. That's a 52 millimeters or a 2.04 inches. Neck depth at the 1st fret is a 0.85 inches or 21.67 millimeters, and at the 12th fret that is a 23.02 millimeters or a 0.90 inches. And here's a look at the neck profile. So it's called a medium C, and yeah, it's definitely reads that way. So just a rounded C, and it stays quite rounded by the 12th fret. Alright, let's go ahead and plug it in and see how it sounds. I'm plugged into my 1965 Fender Bassman here in my settings, and I'm miking up the 212 cab with an SM57. I'm using a Barefoot Honeybee overdrive pedal and a Flint Strymon for reverb. Let's just go through it clean in each position and then with a little bit of dirt. yeah, they sound really nice, clean. A little bit darker pickups when compared to like a Gibson or something like that. It's a little bit lower end, but they sound really good. They're very articulate and clear. Let's go ahead and try it with a little bit of dirt. So what are my final thoughts on the 2016 G&L ASAT Deluxe 2 Tribute in Irish Ale? Really nice guitar. I was really happy with it, especially considering these on the used market can fetch some really nice prices. You can get these for pretty cheap, and they're great guitars. At first I thought the pickup sounded a little bit dark for my taste, but I just really grew to really like them a lot, and you can compensate for that by tweaking your amp a little bit, but they have really nice sounds. They definitely sound super high end. There was no QC issues at all with this guitar. All the finish and all the little tiny details were all great. It was really well done. The woods look great. This is a slab mahogany body I can't really tell how many pieces they are. I think at least I see one seam line, but they're really well hidden. And you can't really see the end grain because it's darkened on the back. So I think there's at least 2-piece mahogany body, but it's really hard to tell. And it's got a hard rock maple neck and a really nice thick rosewood fingerboard on there, and nice medium jumbo frets make it really, really easy to play. The fretwork on this guitar was great. There was no buzzing or fretting out anywhere, and the big frets make it super easy to bend. I also really like the 12-inch radius for the fingerboard. It's very comfortable, like a Gibson. And again, these have the same hardware and pickups as their USA models, which is I think a fantastic value for, you know, a cheaper line. PRS just recently started to do that with their S2s. The guitar has a nice weight, you know, just over 7 pounds, and no neck dive. And this guitar is in super clean condition, despite being almost 10 years old. There's no scratches or ding anywhere, just a few light surface scuffs you can see when you hold it into the light. It stayed in tune really well. It played really well. It bent really well. Just a great guitar. It's really nice to have the Tone Pro hardware on here as well. That's a substantial upgrade for most guitars. If I had to pick one bad thing to say about it, I would say it would be the pickups just a tad, like I'm talking a tiny bit too dark for my personal taste. But again, you can compensate for that on the amp, and I really did like the sound of them. If you're interested in this guitar, I'm going to have it up for sale on the Reverb page. Just check the description for the link. But that's going to be it for today. Thank you for tuning into Beckler Guitars and Repair, and I'll have more for you really soon. Thanks a lot.